What's up, y'all? Nah, I have a couple of minutes before I go to work, and I wanted to talk about some stuff that happened yesterday. And you guys know that I'm all about, being transparent as best as I can or as I can try. And a lot of my close friends and people who know me on a personal level, they know that right now I'm going through some changes mentally and emotionally right now in my life, and it's very different for me. And honestly, I don't know how do I say this. I don't know exactly everything, or I'm not fully educated on everything that I'm going through, but I am taking it day by day, and it's just, for me, I see it as a blessing. But anyways, I'll just get to the story. Yesterday I was at work, and y'all, a lot of y'all who, if y'all do follow me, y'all do actually read my posts, y'all know that I deal with rejection. I struggle with rejection, and you know, when you hit the age of 30, or when you get to a certain age, you think that, okay, your life should be like this, or your attitude should be like this, or how you are should be like this. And so what's very difficult for me to or I guess not, I guess as you could say, it is challenging for me. It's challenging. What's challenging for me is that I am 30, and I'm still healing and getting through things that have happened to me when I was younger. And I'm also still struggling with some things that I've been dealing with since I was a child. And, for me, it's like, well, dang, I've been dealing with this for years. Like, I should be over it by now, or I should, at least have a better handle on it. And to be honest, I feel like I've just kind of scratched the surface of it, or just how serious it is. Because, and I think that my body is telling me that what I'm struggling with as far as rejection, it's not as small, or it's not as minor, or you may really need to dig deep and get to the root of understanding what it means to suffer with this, because I think it has a lot to do with how I was raised, culture, in the Black community. Going to counseling is not something that is like top priority, widespread in the Black community. Like, going to a shrink or going to a counselor, or going to a psychologist is not really on top priority for people. Seeking mental help is not top priority. If anything, you tough it out. You talk about it with your homies, or you may go to the barbershop, or you may talk to your mama about it. You may talk to your closest friend, and that is how you cope with whatever issues or internal issues that you have. And so for me, I know growing up, going to a therapist was very frowned upon, because it's like, well, are you crazy? So it's like, it's better to deny. Sorry, y'all. I think I'm back. I don't know what happened. But going to a therapist was frowned upon. And so it's almost like it's better to deny what you're going through, or act like you're strong, when really and honestly you're going through it, and really this is a weak area for you. So you just kind of tough through it. You just kind of cope however you cope with it. And so yesterday when I was at work, I was having negative thoughts. And, this is something that I deal with all the time. Some days are good, some days are not so good, and yesterday I had my little episode or whatever, and I was just working at the hospital, doing my thing, and I just had these negative thoughts come in, and, it was, the root of it was rejection, thinking about things that have happened recently and just period, and so, I believe that I had a minor anxiety attack yesterday. And when it happened, I didn't instantly think it was an anxiety attack. I just was like, okay, I'm having a lot of thoughts. But then my body started to react. So my heart was like, it felt like my heart was pumping faster. As far as my breathing, it was a little bit more heavier. Like I could sense that my body was reacting to the negative thoughts. And so after a minute of dealing with whatever I was dealing with, something came to my mind like, this might have been like a minor anxiety attack, And so like I said, I'm not very well versed with what I'm going through, and I do want to see a therapist, and I do want to talk to somebody about this, because like I said, this is very new to me. So I had that little moment yesterday, and it's funny because like today I'm fine, like today is one of my good days, like I'm dancing, I'm singing to NSYNC in my car, like I'm good. Today's a good day, But like I said, I can tell that there's something different about me. Like you can just tell something's off, and so that I can tell that something's off with me. So I do think that now I've been wanting to go to a therapist for months now. Just haven't found the right fit, and I've been really busy working and just living my life, and to be honest, it has not been top priority, but it has been in my mind like you probably need to go ahead and just do this. So I am looking for affordable counseling that's going to be a right fit, because I could go to church and see a pastor and get counseling from them, but I'm a little leery about doing stuff like that, only because sometimes I feel like you got to be careful which church you go to. Not every church understands what having anxiety, and a lot of times they can hyper spiritualize it and really just, and I'm just like, look, I'm all for sound judgment, wisdom, and spiritual guidance as well, but I don't need you I don't need all that like extra, you know what I'm saying, like save that for somebody else. And a lot of people, and I just go into this briefly, a lot of people, I'm not saying every church is like this, but a lot of people in the church think that all it takes is for you to just pray it away, just pray. And it's like what I'm learning for my journey, my life, some things it's going to take more than just prayer, and that's that. I feel like spiritual guidance can be practical. I think God is a practical God, and I think God is somebody that doesn't just perform miracles, but he also walks with you daily during the process of whatever you're going through, and the way that he decides to do it, it may not be a laying on the hands. It may not be, by instant healing way, you know what I'm saying? And so I think for me, it's really a process. And I really feel like the reason why I'm going through what I'm going through is because I truly believe I will be helping people and somebody else, you know, in my lifetime or whatever. And I'll be able to empathize and understand what that person is going through. And I'll be able to recognize better what that person's going through and help them more effectively versus just giving them a scripture or just giving them a one-hitter quitter answer, you know. And it's just like, that's not, it's, you know, it's not just a one-hitter quitter. It's not just a one answer. It's not just a scripture, you know. Like, I really will be able to walk with people. I will be able to, you know, understand, like, okay, this is what they're going, like, I know what you're going through, you know, or, you know, or I can say, or at least I can, you know, understand, like, okay, this is more than just, what we think it is or whatever. So anyways, but yeah, so that's what I wanted to just talk about, dealing with anxiety and, how, you really should not ignore it, you know. And I'm, like I said, I'm getting to a point in my life where I can no longer just scoot it under the rug, like, all right, whatever. Today, I just had a bad day. Oh, I just had a mood swing, whatever. You know, like, you can try to, like, sweep it under the rug as a mood swing, or you had a bad day, but it may be deeper than what you really, you know, and sometimes that may just be what it is. You just had a mood swing, or you just had a bad day, whatever. We all have our bad days. But I think when you see something happening in your life consecutively over and over again, especially when you're going through something emotionally and mentally, when you see yourself, when you see a trend happening, and then on top of that, when it starts to affect you and your body, you really need to go ahead and take it seriously and look into, why am I acting this way? Why am I responding this way? You know, what's going on with me? Because, you know, yesterday when I had that episode, I was thinking about suicide. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking about those things, you know, and I said it would just be so much easier to just end my life, because I said, at least I'll be with Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be gone, and I'll be in peace, you know, because the thoughts they are very overwhelming a lot of times, you know. And so in my life, I have tried to minimize my issues, or minimize my internal issues, and shrug it off like it's nothing. And I feel like what God is trying to show me is that you can no longer minimize these things anymore, because they are real. And really, it's only the enemy, in my opinion. I feel like it's the enemy trying to, you know, deceive me and make it seem like, oh, it's nothing, whatever, you know. And it is something. And I really do need to look into it. And I need to go and get help. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'll keep you guys posted on everything that transpires from moving forward. Like I said, I don't really know a lot about this. It's very new. It's very foreign to me. So I'm learning. And if you guys have any, if you know anybody that's dealing with the same thing, you're welcome to give me advice or point me to a good therapist or somebody who's a good counselor, because I am looking, you know, because I know that I need to make this a lifestyle as far as, like, taking care of my mental health. So, all right, y'all. I love you guys, and I hope you guys have a good afternoon. All right, bye.